Yeah, that was my story of how I went with a crackhead to an illegal bar and almost got stepped out by like gangsters and shit. Yeah, as a skinny little white boy in Toronto.
Just a casual Friday night.
Actually, it was a Tuesday night.
I be all day, I be nosy. Getting again, I be sending me to the blows. I be all day, I be nosy. Getting again, I be sending me to the blows.
Welcome to the Nate and Creed podcast. We haven't figured out a name yet, so we're calling it the Budget Podcast with Nate and Creed.
Yeah.
Nate and Creed and Nate.
Until we find out a better name.
Second episode, season 1 of the best podcast.
Best budget podcasts.
Yeah.
I feel like budget podcasts could really be a go here.
Joe Rogan ain't got shit on us.
Nah, he
Neither does
doesn't.
Logan Paul.
Nah, neither does.
Nah. We got the shits and gigs.
Yeah. Although there is a podcast called Shits and Gigs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah. But there's no podcast called Budget Podcasts.
No.
So we've got budget.
With Nate and Creed.
With Nate and
Creed
Creed.
and Nate.
And Nate and Creed. Creed and Nate.
Yeah.
I reckon that could be a go. Budget podcast.
With Creed and also Nate.
Yeah.
And Nate with Creed.
Yeah. And just the budget podcast.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to start it, I reckon.
Done. We've got our phones recording. So Nate's phone's recording me. And then my phone's recording Nate.
Yeah.
And so we don't have phones to check our stuff, but we're thinking like, oh, we could like go on through and like, talk about things that are online. And then we go, well,
This ain't going to
this
work.
ain't gonna work. Nah.
Because our podcast on a budget is not, it's only we've got limited access to what we have. I don't even think we need this on though, do we?
Nah.
So-
No one can see what you're doing. So
Nah,
you can
so-
keep doing it if you want. Keep tutoring with it. You're more welcome to. Like, go search up Pornhub.
I don't know if you could. Surely you'd be able to. I know.
We've watched on this before.
No, I actually haven't.
Pornhub.com intro piano street chords.
Oh, yes!
What the hell? What have you been watching?
I don't know.
Piano porn videos isn't as recently viewed.
No, it's piano sheet chords, mate. Oh, look, it's even purple. I've obviously watched this before.
This
Wow.
is too good. Can you please...
Yeah, we're gonna watch the first.
Age verification. I am 18 years or
Yeah,
older.
I am. Here we go. Here's some. Oh, look,
This guy's
playing the Pornhub
intro while parents are moaning in the other room.
Oh wow!
Wow, it's 8 seconds long. Parents didn't last very long, did they?
No. Same amount of time I last on a Friday night.
Mate, I just can't believe this is a new recently viewed.
Neither could I. I don't really want quick therapy though.
Shadowbait. We'll bring it up.
Oh,
Shadowbait.
that was a video. Oh, damn it. No, here we go.
How many likes has he got? This is 394.
I've hearted it too.
What the hell is that thing on the right? Shit, that looks painful.
Yeah. Here we go. This is it. Oh, we don't have sound though.
Maybe don't have sound because...
I
yeah, true. It's just a... It's just
just
a...
want to hear it.
That's it!
That wasn't very good. No.
Mate, you're worse at technology than my mother.
I'm a
don't know what-
technophobe. Is that the Pornhub intro?
I have no idea.
I don't even know Pornhub had an intro. I'm Bede. Nice to meet you. Just introducing my shy self. Wow, there's a lot of...
Never did I think on our second episode of our first podcast we were looking at porn.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we'd already be at this kind of level of our show, but
Nah.
hey, we're here now.
I just wanted to learn piano on Pornhub.
Yeah.
I just wanted to learn how to play the key of D.
Yeah, just, play those strings
and find the G.
Yeah, find the G spot. Find the G letter. Because that's quite hard to find. I still struggle with that nowadays.
I'll just play hide and seek with it, and I'll just play the hiding pot because he's always playing hiding, and I'm seeking. I'm like,
Yeah,
I think I got switched up.
So I might as well go the hider.
So what I do is I go to the end of the bed and go like this, and then the girl goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm hiding. We're switching up positions tonight." She goes, "What's your favorite position?" I go, "Hiding." So I just switch it up because I get sick of seeking.
No, I always say starfish, right? That's my favourite position. Just lie there. You know, to do sweet fuck all. Or the other good one is hiding in the closet and they don't know you're there. That's always a good one. Little, you know, and you just crack the door open a little bit. Yeah, that's always a good position. Well, that was my top tier too.
What's your top tier?
Straight up there.
Speaking of sex and dating, what do you think of little Mabu and Christine Rock?
I reckon they're gonna have a kid, eh?
They're gonna have a kid,
I reckon. I give probably give it a week and they'll probably be married. No, I don't really know much about that topic. I'm pretty sure Blueface isn't he engaged now after dating for like 3 months?
Something like that.
And then
He just proposed the other day and she said yes and everyone
and then what? And then so obviously she's come out of what? She's obviously quite mad about it. So then little Mabu...
Well, she left him because he shared a picture of their kid naked on Twitter. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
So when the baby was born,
yeah,
Blueface took a picture of his baby boy, which is like, obviously, since he's freshly born, he'll be nude. Posted online and said something about his penis size being, like, I don't know. I can't remember whether he said it was small or big.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He said something about that, and Christine Rock was like, what the hell? And everyone was, like, replying on Twitter. He deleted it, but he was in court about it, I believe, a little while ago.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I'm like...
Yeah, and then...
Pretty bad offence.
Yeah, and then obviously... Because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure... And then obviously little Mabu, or however you say his name, obviously he just wants to, like...
Clout.
I'm guessing it's for clout. You know, like, I'm guessing there's not really, like, anything other than clout for it.
I'm sure she's a lovely girl in real life. Maybe not, but she ain't my thing.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Like...
I mean, yeah, I don't think I would really...
But when she takes out her tooth, though, oh, man.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely...
I'm like, I can fit my little needle in there.
Yeah, my little needle dick.
Yeah.
And because what was it? It was literally like, you know, like, yeah, with, I reckon about 10 bottles and I'd probably, you know, try take it down. But yeah, once you see that gap, I reckon it's about 2 shots.
Do you ever play that? Be like, you know, how many drinks would it take you to have sex with someone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to. It's like a, you
know.
know.
Okay, pick a movie, and I'm gonna pull out the names for you. Pick out like one of your favorite movies. It has to be something popular most people know, like say, I don't know, like a Marvel, like say Marvel or like Star Wars or like Lord of the Rings or like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter.
Alright. I don't even know any good movies. What is a good movie? I mean, yeah, you got the Avengers then. But then there's a lot of dudes in there. And like, you know, like, it doesn't really, you know, like half of them will only take a couple of drinks. Depending on the person and the size of them. Like Hulk, he's definitely a one-shotter. Like, I'm more than happy for him to just throw me against the wall, like, I'm real into that.
Yeah, that'd be a rough sex session.
Yeah, like I reckon like after, you know, yeah, probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, I'll definitely go home with him. Probably one drinker. Yeah,
they just pick you up and just take you home.
Yeah, like pretty much. He'll just grab you by, you know, he'll literally just drag you by the leg and you're like, sweet, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, what about Iron Man with the suit?
So I reckon that'd be quite hard to, you know, get into.
A little bit. Might need a little bit of lube.
Yeah, or some oil, probably. Some oil, maybe not lube, because, you know, he is a tin man after all. He's made out of metal, so yeah, you might need some grease for that.
But what about Vision?
I don't know, I'm not really into the whole sci-fi kind of alien thing, like that kind of creeps me out, you know. I'm not really into that whole hentai, you know, 8 octopuses, you know, like, yeah, not really into that.
Not really into that?
Nah.
Wolverine more your thing?
I mean, yes and no. Like Wolverine, I feel like, especially with those claws,
spread the cheeks quite well.
Yeah, but he also cut you open quite well as well. You know, like I feel like
cutting can make things a bit more exciting.
Yeah, well,
more exhilarating.
I feel like you know, if you don't really let him in easy enough, then he'll definitely just stab a hole into you, and then you'll be right as rain.
Yeah, he'll be hairy too. He'll be like a carpet
burn.
Yeah, you know, he's like just very hairy superhero.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Quite like my hairy men, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot more. Yeah, well, it keeps you warm at night, I guess.
Yeah, it's a nice cuddle buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm seem real gay now. Well, these men. Wow, I'm just selling myself up,
It's all good, mate. It's all good.
Yeah. Hey, it's
And you
2020.
said you like to hide in the closet.
Yeah, it's 2023 now. You know, people identify as aliens, so you know, pretty much I can identify as whatever I want to be.
Yeah. Well, at the moment you're identifying as a South African after the All Black loss.
Oh, fully support.
Yeah.
Up the Saffers. Yeah. No, but it was quite a controversy game though. Like the refs definitely did fuck over the All Blacks a bit. Wayne Barnes, because he's always had it in for the All Blacks. Like he's never really liked them.
Yeah, that's right.
So like what was that? It was that try that Richie Mwanga set up with Aaron Smith, and it was like, so I reckon that was a pretty bullshit call because what happened was apparently the knock on was literally 5 phrases, like at the breakdown, and then from there they played 5 phases and then they got the try. So pretty much if like that try should have counted. Because whether or not like you can't really call back a play from that you played like 5 minutes before, because it was just a bullshit call. But to be fair, I am still real proud of the boys and how far they did go and everything. Like they kept it pretty close. Like to be fair,
especially with down a player.
Yeah, and that was a pretty rough call as well because one of the South African players did the exact same thing, but they didn't really get a card or anything against them. But hey, what can you do? The game's over and done now.
One answer ref after the game.
So, I mean, you probably could do.
Yeah, let's take him out.
But yeah, but I don't know. There was a lot of thing on the internet as well. That apparently, I don't know how true it is. I haven't actually done much googling or research into it. But apparently there was like things are saying that like Wayne's bond was actually paid off or something. I don't know if you saw that.
I've seen a bit of that.
Yeah, like I don't know how true it is.
It's always hard to know with sports.
Yeah.
Like, boxing's always like, yeah, probably. But then other sports is like, early, I don't know.
But then my biggest thing as well is just like they're cracking down on obviously the head hits, which is understandable. But then in the off season, half the sports people go out and do boxing anyway. So it's kind of like, like why would you do? Why would they allow them or to go play boxing if you're cracking down on all the head hits and everything anyway? Like to me it just makes no sense.
Yeah, it's kind of contradicting, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I just reckon that if you're gonna do it, then they obviously can't go play another sport in between the off season.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just my opinion.
You know what's crazy?
What?
NFL players.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have statistically higher rate of Alzheimer's or dementia or brain-related injuries in later age than rugby players.
Really?
Yeah, because they got all that protective gear, and they run with their heads.
Yeah.
But like with rugby and that, you got to like, I was talking with the Americans and that when I was in Texas and that, yeah, because we know how to tackle, so we always duck the head out when you tackle someone out, so you're getting them in the shoulder part more so than tackling someone. But yeah, over in NFL, they just run with their heads. So because they've got the protection there, they don't worry about protecting, knocks and bumps and that.
Oh wow!
Because they just run with their heads. Yeah, and
I didn't
statistically
actually
they
know
have
that.
a more higher chance of Alzheimer's than rugby players.
Oh yeah, I don't
Crazy,
actually know that. That's actually pretty crazy.
That makes sense though. When you got the protection,
Yeah,
you think, "Oh, be sweet," but
yeah.
really you still can't protect what's because your brain moving inside your
Yeah.
skull and that. So
Yeah, because I have watched a couple of games and on highlights and everything on the American football and everything, and yeah, I do see that they do run with their heads.
yeah, they
and
go
everything.
crazy with that.
Yeah,
man,
like there is some big hits on there as well because pretty much everything's legal. Like you can literally fold a dude in half.
yeah, and you can tackle anyone at any time as well.
Yeah, though that's
like whereas rugby you can only tackle the person with the ball. Whereas in NFL you could literally just be like, "Fuck, I'm gonna take this dude out."
Yeah, you can literally just take him out.
Yeah,
just like
like you'll mark your player if you can just
that's because they've got all the blockers and everything as well. So if your ball carrier's running with the ball, then literally they have like 2 or 3 blockers that can just like mow people down.
I just laugh when you see rugby players with like smashed up faces, bloody everywhere, and they're like, "I'm all good, ref, all good, ref." When you see NFL players with all this protective gear, and you're just like, "Wow, pussies."
Literally.
Yeah, the amount of Canadians that were like, I wish that rugby was bigger over here than NFL. 'Cause,
Really?
Like, yeah, they were like, yeah, it's like better sport. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, cause you went to Canada, right? Like a wee while ago. Oh no, like a week ago. Oh no, well you got back a week ago.
Well, I
But
left. I went to the States for a month,
Yeah,
and I just got back from the States last week.
yeah, and then
But I was in Canada for 6 months,
yeah,
in Toronto, and the 6.
yeah.
And I was in Vancouver for a day.
Wow, a whole day.
Well, actually, it was only 8 hours.
So half a day.
Well,
No,
because
not
I
even
got there,
half a day.
I got there. I didn't know where I was going to live, and so I was going to move to Toronto. I didn't know where I was going to live, so I was like, well, I'm gonna be a typical procrastinator. Instead of worrying about where I'm going to live, I'm going to book my flight from Vancouver to Toronto overnight, so I don't have to worry about sleeping on May the 14th whenever I landed.
So that's smart.
So that was smart.
That's a good logical move,
Yeah.
to be honest.
And then I had some weed edibles and got high on the plane. It was good times. I was up in the sky like.
Well, you can't really complain then, can you?
Nah, mate. I was having a good old time. Yeah, the legal weed in Canada was great fun.
Yeah, see, I reckon, like...
She's speaking of that, one time I was high as. I was
Yeah.
sitting in the park just chilling out. No joke, this cat walks out the corner of my eye and I'm like, okay, alright. It's just quite far away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in the park. It's quite a big popular park, Trinity Bellwoods, just around the corner from my house. And I was just like, oh, that's interesting. And then just like walked a little further in front of me and I was quite high at this point too. I was looking at a tree thinking the tree was changing colours, so I was pretty high. And then like this guy was walking by with a lead and I'm like, no shit. This guy's walking his cat in one of the
My
biggest
man.
parks in Toronto. And I'm high as a kite, mate. I'm just like, don't laugh, Creed. This is rude. And I'm just like holding it in. And he just like walks on past. He looks like the most sweetest dude. He's like, would have been maybe my age, maybe a little older. Walking his cat. And his cat's like sniffing the plants and stuff. And I'm just like, I have to talk to him, otherwise I'm going to lose my shit. And I can't do that while he's walking past. So I was looking at him and I was like, hey man. And you know when you try to talk to someone and you're like, I can't let them know I'm high, but I need to talk to them politely.
Yeah.
So it was one of those conversations. So I'm like, mate, you're high as a kite, but you got to talk to him. And he's just like, oh, hey man, how's your day going? And I'm like, really good. And I was just like, walking your cat. Try not to laugh. And he goes, yeah, I don't trust them. And I'm like, don't laugh, Greg, don't laugh. Hold it. I bit my tongue on my lips and I'm just like, oh yeah, don't trust him for what? And he's like, oh, he just runs out in front of cars so he gets a certain amount of time a day to go outside. And I'm like, certain amount of time a day, how long does he get? And he's like, he gets half an hour after I finish work. He goes, some people think it's a bit weird walking a cat, but for me it's normal. And I'm like, yeah bro, it's completely normal.
Or imagine being that cat and be like, okay, work's almost over. I can't fuck up now because I only get 30 minutes.
And the best part was this cat seems so mellow and he's like, yeah, he's a real like, you know, naughty cat. Like, mate, he looks more mellow than my cat. My cat just sleeps all day. I don't even think this cat wants to be outside. I wonder whether he just forces him outside to have his daily exercise.
Probably does, to be honest. No, but there's those people that take out the cats to their beach and stuff, oh.
It's just cruel. Because you go and see a dog. What a big Rottweiler comes on through and picks up the cat.
But then, people do some weird stuff with animals. Not sexually. Like, I'm not I'm not going down that road.
I'm like,
I feel like,
oh, where are we going now?
I feel like now that I've said it, like it's gonna go down that road now. But no, it wasn't meaning like sexually. But like, yeah, there's all that thing. Yeah, people do some weird stuff with animals.
What's your best excuse to get out of conversations by walking your special animal?
I'm gonna walk my goldfish.
That's how you get out of conversations, is it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Conversations you don't want to be in.
Yeah,
Just be like, I don't want to be here any longer.
Oh, like,
I'm gonna go walk my goldfish.
well, he's got to run some laps, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Well, he's been swimming in a tank all day. Like, what do you expect him to do?
Poor
Like,
guy's a little tired, right?
yeah, you know, like he might want to go out and get some fresh air. You know, he might want to go see scenery. He might want to go, you know, feel the curbs. You know, flutter around in the
Well, he's got to get his daily allocation, right?
Yeah,
He's been a bit of a bad
vitamin
boy.
D. You know, he's got to get his vitamin D from the sun. You know, grow all healthy and strong.
I don't know why I keep on eating marshmallows.
Because they're so good.
They are.
Yeah, it's like eating clouds.
I regret getting the marshmallows in my coffee this morning. I went out to the cafe this morning And I saw the marshmallows and I was like, oh yeah, I want some marshmallows. I was like, can I have marshmallows with my coffee? And she's like, yeah. Then she put them into the coffee. And I'm like, why would I want marshmallows in my Americano?
You don't get marshmallows with an Americano. You get a Merlot with an Americano.
A Merlot. Red wine.
You've got to get a Merlot with an Americano.
I put that on my Tinder bio actually. I was like, New Year's is coming up. I'm keen for shits and gigs. If you like a Merlot with your Americano to kickstart your Monday mornings, swipe right. If you don't, save me the hassle and swipe left.
Yeah.
And then one girl hit me up. She was like, when are we drinking wine? And I'm like, are you a red or a white kind of girl? And she's like, I like white wine. And I'm like, well, get out. I don't want Merlot with the Americano. You're wasting my time. I said
You're not
swipe
welcome.
left.
You're not welcome. It's Merlot or Americano or nothing. Why would you even swipe right?
I find Tinder so boring, eh?
Oh, yeah. When I used to have Tinder, I used to take the piss out of all the chicks.
I do that, and then people tell me I'm mean for doing it.
But, like, what else are you going to do on it?
Alright, I gotta ask you, like, am I mean for this one? So I, like... see if you think I'm mean for what I did here, alright? So, I wanted to build my Instagram a little bit more, so I just started being like, oh, I don't hit up me up. I was like, I put on, like, the thirstiest photos, basically everything on me shirtless and stuff, and then, like, my first picture's me on, like, a floaty ring.
Yeah.
I'll show it on the video, and then, I don't always message on here, hit me up on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can sit on my pool floaty one day. And I was like, we're all like...
That's like real casual, you know.
Real casual, like, kind of weird.
Yeah,
and then I put the...
Come chill on my pool
exactly,
floaty.
Exactly. And I put like a little kissy face with it too. And then I put the preference to all ages, all locations, worldwide. I had Tinder Premium at the time. And then all genders. I didn't discriminate against anyone. And I had these two guys that would have been like... Oh, how old? Like maybe in their late 50s. Cool. And their name was Two Daddies.
Oh, yeah?
Two daddies, yeah. And I'm like, they don't look like daddies. They look like grandpas. Like, they're like... They ain't lookers. Like, I'm not mean to be rude, but like, I'm just saying...
They weren't lookers.
They weren't lookers, you know? And I saw them come through and I'm like, oh... I can't not swipe right. I gotta swipe right.
Yes.
So I swiped right and I'm like, oh shit, I've matched with them. I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, this will be funny. So I just left it. They messaged me and they're like, hey, I didn't reply. A week later, they were like, hey, I didn't reply. A week later. I was petrified. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, these guys are probably gonna be out for me or whatever. They look quite wealthy too.
They're hungry for you.
They were hungry. This was in Toronto too. So I'm like, I don't know who these guys could be. And they
obviously two daddies.
Two daddies, yeah.
Just two daddies.
Two sexy daddies.
They just wanted. They
want
wanted,
my wiener.
They just want a young boy to call a child.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. And so then, like 4 weeks, I left them on scene. They just kept on double messaging me.
Well,
and so then in the end, I just came back and I was just like, what did I say? I was like, yo, and then they're like,
good.
Then they
good
came back.
Started.
Yeah, they came back and they're like, when can we lick that chest? And I'm with a winky face, and I'm like, oh, we're going there.
Straight balls,
yeah.
Not, you know, well, that's the problem is because they already built up the small talk. They already messaged you for 4 weeks straight, be like,
yeah,
hey,
double messaging.
Hey, so the small talk was already there,
it's already
you know,
there.
like
we're already established, we're besties already, so they might as well just jump straight to the daddies. Yeah. And so then I was like, they were like, oh, yeah, when can we lick that chest? And I was just like, well, I was just like, I'm going to take the piss out of them. I was like, do you guys know how to paint? And then they're like, one of us does, yeah. And I'm just like, oh yeah, well, I got this fence that needs painting.
That is so good.
And then he's like, oh yeah. And they're like, is that a kink for you? And I'm like, well, it needs to get done.
it's a job that needs to be done, mate.
And then I was like, could you guys help me? And they're like, yeah, we could help you. And I'm like, great, because I got a garage door that's broken too. And then they're like, we can help with that. And I'm like, great. Then we can get the chest licking. And they're like, that sounds perfect. Then they're like, what colour do you want? I'm like, I'd like it white and fresh. The best part was I was living in a basement flat with no fence and no garage.
That is so good.
And then they're like, okay, well, let us know when you want us to come round. I'll be like, yeah, I'll keep you posted. You know, get it? And then they're like,
double meaning.
They're like, oh, I get the joke. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm a funny guy. And they're like, you seem like a kinky guy too. And I'm like, I sure am. And I said a winky face.
I sure am. I can't wait for my fence to be painted.
Yeah, that don't have. It should have been like, I don't actually have one yet. Can you build one for me too? Then we can paint it together. I don't even went for a garage door, but if you ever spare one lying around, we can install it.
Can you please bring it over? I can't want driving access through my living room.
My kitchen's a bit boring. I want to get some garage door in there.
I'm sick of sleeping in my kitchen with no windows or no doors. You know, I prefer a garage door kind of block off the whole kitchen.
Yeah, that was my two daddies.
That is so good.
One of my friends was like, Creed, that's gay bait. And I'm like, is it? I just was bored one night and my gay friend helped me set up my Tinder profiles. Was that offensive? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, oh well, what's done is done.
Is it actually offensive though?
Apparently.
Is it?
I don't mean to be offensive, I was just bored one night.
Yeah, I don't see any harm in that.
Everyone leaves me on scene. Why can't I do it?
Why can't you have some fun? I mean,
The amount of girls I match with, and I message them like, casual pickup line, or I've tested out all the water. I've gone raunch, gone funny, gone casual, gone friendly. No one replies. So it's like, fuck it. This app doesn't even work. I might as well just have fun with it.
No, that's there. When I used to have Tinder,
You were a dog on it.
Yeah, I was. I used to be a dickhead on it. I used to be so...
You can say cunt.
Can you?
My favourite word. Might as well.
Cunt. I love the word cunt. But yeah, I used to be such a dickhead on it. Gosh, I was such a dickhead.
What's one of your funniest ones?
Can't even remember now. What was one of my funniest ones?
Do you ever go through Tinder and be like, shit, she looks good, then you go to the next photo and go, fuck, it's a friend. And you just want to hit her up and be like, who's your friend, love?
Yeah, I used to do that.
What they say?
And there's like a whole group of them, and you'd be like, and you'd be like, hey, and then I'd message back like, hey, and you'd be like, oh, I see you got a lot of friends, you, and then just kind of strike up a conversation, and then they'll be like talking to them for like a couple of days. And they're like, oh, you keen to meet up? I'm like, nah, I want to meet up with your friend. And then they'll be like, fuck you.
So good.
And like an instant delete and like unmatch, and you'd be like, oh, that's a bit shit. I just want to talk to your friend.
Second from the left with the red dress and the high heels.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Is she single? My number's this.
Asking for my mate. We can go on double dates.
And then she comes back and be like, are you interested in me? And you'd be like, nah, not really.
Nah, I'm not got a mate though. I'm a mate.
And then she'll be like, that's really rude. You'll be like, nah, in all relationships you should be honest. Before I start anything, I make sure I'm honest in all areas of my life. I'm preparing for my wife, and that's not you, sorry.
It's your mate. But I'll tell you what, you may be invited to the wedding or not. Depending on how far it goes. Depending on how good you are of a wingman, you can come to the wedding or not. Yeah, no, you usually get blocked from those odds.
A friend of mine got told by his missus's friend. She was like, oh, you gotta be nice to me. And he's like, sure. And he's like, yeah, you gotta watch your steps. And she's like, okay. And then she's like, yeah, because I'm definitely invited to the wedding. Whether you'll be there is a different story. Took him a second. He was like, oh yeah, actually, that's actually
That's a good
point.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, shit. Yeah, mates are going to be at the wedding regardless, but whether you actually work out a relationship, whether you're actually going to be the one getting married, I'm like, shit, that's actually a pretty cold comeback. Like, that's a pretty good one to do.
That is cold.
I'm glad not more girls know about that one, because girls can be nasty sometimes. And saying
Oh,
that
yeah. What else? Oh, man, I had... because most of them I'd be like... most of the chicks I'd like match with or like talk to was when I was coming back from town, like chewing my face off, and then like and then it'd be like at 3 AM, you up message, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh god, what have I done?
So good.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
I got a message like that from a chick one time and I went there. And man, have I got a story for that one, eh?
What, a you up message?
Yeah, so I was hanging out with some friends till late. They were moving to France.
Yeah.
So we were hanging out and then we probably got home about like... Probably like 1 o'clock. So not that late. But like in Canada, everything closes at like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So that's like, you know, typical. You know, better in New Zealand, we all close at 5. But over there, they close at 1 or 2. So then this chick messages me. Let's just say her name's... I'm not going to say her real name. Let's just say her name's Jamie. Stephen. Let's say her name's Jamie for now. So Jamie hits me up and she's like, oh, yo, are you up? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm in Toronto at the moment because she lives out of town. She's like, pulling up. I'm like, alright, sure, I'm pulling up. And then she was like at some karaoke bar with some friends or whatever. And I was hanging out there.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I was
no.
She was drunk off her face, and I'm just like, oh yeah. I was like sobering up quite a bit because before then we went off to a carnival in Toronto, and I went there drunk and went on all the roller coasters drunk. Man, that was a wild time.
Oh, I don't think I could do a roller coaster drunk, eh?
That was a wild time.
I feel like I'd vomit if I did a roller coaster drunk. Like, that sounds heinous.
Oh, it was pretty intense. We had the spinny one, or like went like this the whole time.
Oh no!
And that's what I was wondering. You don't get strapped in, just the G-force holds you in. And yeah, and I remember just being like trying to hold my head straight, and my friends were like, "You all good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, mate, I had a great time.
I'm sweet." Fucking bastard.
So I turned out to this chick, and then her and her friend, let's say her friend's name's Catherine. So Jamie and Catherine start having this massive fight, like big fight. I was in the middle of it, just like trying to like be like, I don't even know this bitch. I don't really know what to do.
I'm surprised you were in the middle of it. I probably would have.
Really awkward.
I probably would have gone to the bar and been like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go get a drink."
Well, we were outside because the bar closed. It was like 2:30,
yeah.
so they were like, "We want to go off and like hang out for the rest of the night." And I'm like, "Mate, I'm pretty ready for bed." Like,
I'm
like
done here.
Yeah, and so then Jamie was like, "Well, let's get an Uber to like find like a." They have like underground bars there for when the time goes over.
Yeah.
And so they were like, let's go find one. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't really know where one is because I'm not really new to Toronto. Anyway, Jamie called up to Catherine and she was like, do you want to get in the Uber or not? The Uber just turning up. And she's like, Catherine's like annoyed at Jamie. She's like, yeah, fine, all right. And then Jamie's like, do you want to bring you on the Uber? And then this dude next to Catherine just goes, yeah, I'll come. And then Catherine's like, sure. And I thought it was her friend. He gets in the car. He's like a full-on crackhead. Full dealer. Like, he was half his fucking rocker. And so I'm sitting in the back seat. Jamie's here, and then this crackhead's here, and he's gone on about like shooting guns. He's out like dealing drugs. He's talking about how he's been on crack since he was 13.
Holy shit. And then, what a way to get into an Uber!
Champion mentality. And Catherine's in the front seat going, guys, I don't feel safe. And I'm like, well, you're in the fucking front seat, Catherine. I'm here in the back seat. Poor Jamie's in the middle of him. She doesn't even know me that much. She's telling to me like this. And he's just like, yeah, we pulled up the Glocks. And we're like, pow, pow. We're like pulling out our crack. And he goes, you don't know what it's like for a struggle like me. And Jamie and Catherine are like,
full struggle shit.
Full struggle.
You have no idea what it's like being...
No idea.
Being like on meth when you're 13, mate.
And then Jamie and Catherine are like, Creed, I feel real nervous. And then I was just like, hey, mate, like, the girls are kind of nervous. He's like, what the fuck are they nervous about? They got me. And I'm like, well, we don't really know where we're going. And then we went to the first bar, and that one was closed. And so we went to the next one. The kid's like, oh, I need to take you to my boy's place. And we're like, no. And then we went to the second place. That was closed. Like, fuck, you guys go listen to me. Take me to my boy's place. And we're like, no. And then for some reason, Jamie's like, all right, where's your boy's place? And I'm like, no, we don't know where this guy's going to take us. And he's just like, mate, I got the best spot. It's on College Street and this spot. I'm not going to say the exact location because, you know.
Yeah.
But they were like, it's on this street here. And I'm like, that's a really dodgy part of town. He's like, nah, mate, it's all good. The Uber driver's like, oh, I've heard of that one. Isn't it any good? And he's like, yeah, just don't leave the girls alone when we go. Then I'm like, great. And then Jamie's like, nah, we're going to do this. And I'm like, Jamie, shut the fuck up. We don't know where the fuck we're going. So we're pulling up and he starts going, we're pulling up to the spot on this corner of this road next to a drugstore, pharmacy, you know, and then like we stand outside this wall that comes like the smashed up mirror, like hoary part of the corner.
Yeah.
And we're just standing there and we're like, okay. And then this big dude opens up this wall that I didn't even know was a door and goes, get in. And we're like, he's like, you gonna waste my time or get in the door? And we're like, okay, get in the door. It was like pitch black, scungy as, low ceiling, couldn't see a thing. There's 3 big bouncers like there. They're like, where's your cash? And we're like, cash for what? They're like, door entry. We're like, oh, how much is it? They're like, $30 per person. We're like, $30 to get in this thing? This is Canadian dollars too.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, well, we're going to go home. Crackhead goes, nah, mate, I just made a deal tonight. I made like $500. I'm paying for all you guys. Literally just pulls out like $30 for all of us. What's that? $120 for all of us to get in, just like straight off the bat. And then the guy's like, oh yeah, cool, good to see you back here again. Don't cause any trouble again. I'm like, great. Who the hell am I with?
Bro, this guy's... Dude, this dude on speed dial? Like, he sounds like a champion.
He had like really nice clothes on, they're all ripped and tattered. He's just missing teeth and that. Like,
so a full weapon of a
human, bro.
Like,
full weapon.
Full definition.
And then
of
like,
weapon.
this was like 4 o'clock in the morning by now, right? Dodgy part of town, Toronto. We're pulling through, and there's like this long, skinny hallway. It's so dark, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
All the paint's all stripped off the wall and that. And we come into there's like every gang member you can think of in there, just like Dodgy. And they're playing like real cool like blues music. And Jamie's like, "This is the best spot ever." And I'm like a scrawny little white boy in here with 2 chicks and a crackhead. I don't stand a chance if something goes wrong. I don't even know these chicks.
You're getting wrong. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry, like, mate, you're getting
absolutely pummeled.
Like,
and then the crackhead comes up to me and goes, "Oh, it's like, no, McKinney." He's like, "Don't leave the girls out of your sight." And I'm just like, okay. He's like, "Don't." He goes, "You don't know who's here." And I'm like, I thought you were dodgy. If you're saying there's people more dodgy than you, like, God help me. Like, Lord God be with me. It gets worse though, eh?
Or you know the place was fucked up when the crackhead invited you to the place, was like, "Don't let the girls go to it," and you're just like, holy shit, like, you're fucked. I can't imagine what these guns are like in
Well,
here.
they all had big patches on and shit as well. Yeah. And then I'm like, and then that guy come on in, got my hair all out, like long, and things that probably look, even more feminine. And then they're just like, "Oh, do you play pool?" Like the big gamers. I'm like, yeah. And they're like doing a game, and I'm like, oh yeah. I ended up smashing all of them like the whole night, so I had a bit of respect with that. And then everyone, like Jamie, the chick I was with, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so hot. How long have you guys been together?" I'm like, "Well, I just met her the other night, like for 5-10 minutes, and then now I'm with her right now."
Yeah.
And then but then and then the crackhead just bought us drinks the whole night.
That doesn't really sound too bad.
That was all good. And then we lost Catherine.
Oh no.
And we're like,
oh no.
The drug dealer comes, because the drug dealer really liked Catherine.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where the fuck is she?" And I'm like, a little drunk. I'm like.
that real like sorry shrug, like, "Oh bro, I'm sorry, but I don't know." Like please don't pull out your Glock and go "Papa." like I'm so sorry. I understand the rules. I have to keep track of them, but like I'm real sorry.
I have no idea.
Just put your little Glock away. Just put your little friend away and go "Papa, mate, please."
Yeah, I know. I was like, I had no idea. And then we're like, so Jamie and I just start looking everywhere. But Jamie's like having a good old time. She's wanting to dance and shit. I'm like, "No, we need to find Catherine." She's like, "I want to dance." I'm like, "Mate, your mate's gone. I don't know who this chick is. You guys have childhood friends. I need to find your friend." And then we couldn't find her for like a solid half an hour. The crackhead's fretting, like he's having drug withdrawals or some shit.
Mate, he would have been fretting, like that Glock is coming out, mate.
Yeah.
That Glock was coming out and was going to go "Papa." It would have popped a gap in your ass.
Yep. And I'm just like, I don't know where the hell to go. And then turns out she was having a smoke, and then she was like, she came back and she's like, "I met this girl," and Jamie's like, "I don't know you're gay," and she's like, "Neither did I." I'm like, what is this night going into? And then she's like hooking up with this chick in the bathroom, and then I'm just like, wow, I didn't really expect the night to go like this. I had a nice night with my friends at the carnival. I invited out to karaoke bar. Now I'm with some crackhead. Then I'm with some friends I don't even know. One of them's now hooking up in the bathroom. I don't know where to go now. And then my boss was there as well at the end of the night. I'm like, this is weird. My boss from work. I'm like, "Why are you at this dodgy place?" He's like, "This is my usual set." Oh no, because we're on a Tuesday morning. That's right. No, Tuesday night's a Wednesday morning. Yeah, and he's like, "This is my usual like weekday spot." I'm like, at 6 a.m. you start working an hour, and he's like, "Yeah, it's all good, mate."
Yeah, she's all good. This is my usual.
Yep.
First name basis, everyone do.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and then he'd come up to me and be like, "Yo, can you get Jamie to go chat up that chick there? Because like I want to talk to her." And I'm like, "Mate, you're like 50. And he's just like, "Yeah, I'll buy her some drinks." And I'm just like, Alright, sure. So I was just getting Jamie to go and talk to all the chicks that he wanted to. And, like, they're, like, you know.
Like proper threes.
Units.
like a solid 3. like disclose the story about solid 3s.
With the lights off.
Yeah, like brown paper bag.
If we put the lights on in that club, it would have been like -4.
We're out of here. 8 to no top shopping gonna fix this.
Yeah. That boss was a crack up boy. I remember the next day he messaged me and he was just like, because I crashed at that chick's place, and then like my boss messaged me and he was like, yo, if you don't want to come into work today and just keep sleeping with that chick, like,
that's all.
You don't have to come into work today. And I'm just like, nah, I need the money. And he goes, I wouldn't come into work if I were you. I'd just stay with her.
That's such a good boss.
And then I remember I got into work and he's just like, hey, if things don't work out with you guys, just give him my number. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Boy, he's a solid boss. Like,
Solid boss.
Oh man,
Solid boss.
that's so good. I love it.
His way of chatting up chicks, he'd be like, at that dodgy, I found that dodgy crack spot, that one I was telling you about. He'd come onto the street and see the finest chicks walking by and he'd be like, hey girls, there's free drinks at the bar. And they'll be like, really? He's like, yeah. And he's quite well ordered, so they're coming in. And then he'd be like, and then she'd be like, why are there free drinks? And he's like, nah, I'm just paying for you guys. He'd pay for all their drinks that they want. It'd be like 5 chicks. He'd be like $300 just on drinks, and then just hope that he gets some pussy later. I'm like,
hopeful. Just hope. Like fingers crossed. Like please, if I pay $300 worth of drinks, I get pussy. Please.
I'm like, yeah. I remember him telling me, he's like, bro, I'd do anything for pussy, and I'm like, I believe that.
I believe you. I'm not even gonna question you. That's wild.
Oh, he's got some wild stories, that guy.
That's so
He was a wild
good.
boss. So yeah, that was my story of how I went with a crackhead to an illegal bar and almost got stepped out by like gangsters and shit. Yeah, as a skinny little white boy in Toronto.
Just a casual Friday night.
Actually, it was a Tuesday night.
not even like midweek, like the start of a week, like yeah,
right at the beginning.
Like Monday was pretty downhill, you know, like. Oh yeah, Tuesday, fuck it. I'll just go to some dodgy ass bar.
Yeah, I messaged my mate the next day and she was like, "How was your rest of your night last night?" I'm like, "Yeah, went up to this illegal bar. I don't even know the name of it because it's underground and shit." She's like, "What the fuck are you doing with your life, Greg?" I'm like, "It's a really good question. But all I know is I'm drinking on a Tuesday night till 7 a.m.
I'm living my life.
I'm living my life to the fullest.
I'm living my life to the fullest. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, pretty crack up, eh?
That's such a good story.
Well, I feel like that kind of brings us to a close, right?
Yeah, I reckon it does.
Might as well. Probably been... How long? Oh, yeah, that's a 30-minute episode.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we still haven't figured out a name for this podcast.
Creed and Nate and Creed, budget podcast. Podcasts on a budget. And we can make like a real budget sign too, like with
budget podcast.
Like budget podcast, and we could just like look, we've already got the we've already got
a door handle.
Yeah, so we can just hang the sign there or something, and just put it on an angle. I'll just make it out of like.
We're so budget, we don't have a fan, and I'm sweating like shit right here.
I mean, I could probably get a fan.
Probably could get a fan actually, but it might break our budget.
Yeah, it's our budget's pretty limited at the moment. I feel like yeah, so far we've spent no money. We made what?
We spent $2 on these.
Yeah, we did actually.
These aren't even.
Oh, these are free.
Yeah, those are monikers. Right?
No, these were from the Halloween party.
Oh, were they? Yeah. So we would even take them.
These were free.
Yeah.
Water's free.
Water's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're budgeting on a podcast.
Yeah, budget podcast. Second episode done.